Cummings sauntered onto the stage in a high-waisted white suit, broad at the shoulders, cinched at the waist, and with baggy trouser legs. On the streets of Harlem, it was known as a zoot suit, but in wartime London, it was a remarkable thing for a gentleman to be wearing. On his head was a wide-brimmed Panama, paired with a silver pineapple-headed cane, which he twirled as he sang. His repertoire included a string of his calypso hits, interspersed with scat singing, a form of vocal improvisation in the style of Louis Armstrong and Cab Calloway. The performance was a sensation with the bohemian crowd of the Coconut Grove, leading to wild dancing that raised the pulses of the more conservative patrons. For Jox and Alice, it was an assault on the senses, a completely new and intoxicating form of music. Mehmet Ali watched bemused from their table, a burly bodyguard by his side. Jox recognized one of the royal guards he'd met at the Christmas luncheon. The Lord Chamberlain clapped his appreciation of their athletic gyrations from across the smoky room. With a series of calls and counter-calls, Cummings had the dancers on the floor whipped into a frenzy. Jox found himself parroting the "Heidi, Heidi, Heidi, Hi" and the "Hody, Hody, Hody, Hos" with the rest of the crowd. Alice's face was flushed, and she'd never looked happier nor more beautiful. But then, with no warning, the ceiling above the stage collapsed in a cloud of choking dust. A heartbeat before, a blinding flash had flared amongst the crowded tables. The music stopped dead, overtaken by the screams and groans of the wounded. Panic-stricken survivors surged towards the clogged exits, the more severely hurt and the dead trampled underfoot in the melee to escape the chaos. Arm in arm, when everything went black, Jox and Alice clung desperately to each other within the heaving mass, stranded in crushing darkness. Younger and more robust than most, they had the strength to strain against the press of bodies, an instinct of self-preservation fueling a selfish determination to live. An elegant young woman dancing beside them was lifted off her feet, blue-lipped and asphyxiated by the crush, her neck flopping like a dead chicken's. Under her, a bull of a man in naval uniform roared his defiance at all those weighing down upon him. His face got redder and redder, until something gave way, and his limp body sank through the crossed limbs of the crowd as if sinking through ice floes. One moment they were in the crushing grip of the mob, the next they were propelled onto Regent Street. The stream of water from earlier now provided some soothing muddy coolness for their parched throats and overheated bodies. Fires raged up and down the street, and the earth itself was aflame. Bewildered, terrified, and with all sense of direction lost, they followed the flow of the water, reasoning that it must surely drain towards the Thames, where there might be shelter from the fire and heat.